Hello guys, welcome back. In this video, we are going to cover expressions, control statements, and typecasting along with type conversion. These are the things we are going to cover in this particular video. So what is this expression means? It's a combination of constants, operators, variables, and parentheses, which is used to calculate a value. So here you can see x is equal to 32 minus y by x plus 5. So this we will calculate by using the operator precedence and associativity table, right? So this operator precedence is nothing but priority of grouping different types of operators with their operands. So highest priority, highest precedence operator will be calculated first or evaluated first, then followed by the low precedence operator will be evaluated next. So along with the precedence, the associativity is also important. So if uh, in this particular thing, if an expression having the two or more operands with the same precedence, then uh, in this particular case, either it will be solved from left to right or it will follow right to left associativity, right? So here, always we follow the BODMAS rule, the parenthesis first, then postfix or prefix, that is unary operators, then multiplication, addition, and relational operators and logical operators. This is how we follow in order to calculate the expression. Now we are moving further. Control statements. In Java, we have selection statements, iteration statements, and jumping statements. The all three together we are calling it as a control statements. In selection statements, we have simply if else, else if ladder, nested if, along with switch. By using selection statements, we are going to check a condition. If the based on the result, we are going to perform the operation, right? So we will go one by one. So these are all the selection statements. If is if else if ladder, nested if, and switch. These are all the five conditional statements. First, coming to the if, what it will do? First, it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then it allows the controller into this block to execute this block of statements. This is in case of if. In case of if else, it first checks the condition. If the condition is true, then we execute if block statements. If the condition is false, then we will enter into the else block and we will execute the else block statements. True means if block we will execute, false means we'll execute else block. In else if ladder, first we check the condition. If the condition is true, then we execute statement 1 or if block. If the condition is false, then we will jump to the else if we check the condition 2. If it is true, we execute the condition 2 block. If it is false, then we will go to the else block. Irrespective of the condition, we will execute this else block, right? So this is all about else if ladder. In nested if, what is nested if means if within if, that is called as a nested if. So if the first condition is true, then we will check for the another condition. If that is true, then we will execute this statement 1. Sir, here the condition 1 is true, right? But the condition 2 is false. What will happen? In this case, we will execute the statement 2, which is belonging to this else block. Now, sir, for example, I'm taking another case. If the condition 1 itself false, what we will do? Directly we will go to the else block. In else block, we are having one more condition. You'll check this condition true means we will execute statement 3. Otherwise, we will execute statement 4. This is how nested if is going to be executed. Then coming to the switch, this is also called as multi-branching statement. Based on your choice, the expression, based on your choice, the switch is going to be executed. Here, you are going to pass your choice. If the choice is matching with case 1, then we'll execute the first case and we will break the statement, then we will come out of the switch. For example, your choice is not matching with the case 1, then we will go to the case 2. Then if it is matched, then we will execute case 2 and we will call the break function. Then we will come out of the block. So break is the keyword which is used to break the complete loop. This is how we are going to check our choice with the different labels. If our choice is matching with any label or any case, then we'll execute that particular case. Otherwise, we'll go to the default case and we'll execute the default case. Now, coming to that is all about the conditional statements. Now, repetitive statements or iteration statements. Here we have the three iteration statements, that is while, do while, and then for. In while, what we will do? All these three are used to execute block of statements repeatedly until and unless the given condition becomes false. Here, the difference is while first it needs the initialization, right? So yeah, you need to initialize the value in the while first, then we need to check the condition by using that value. If the condition is true, we will execute the body, then we will perform either incrementation or decrementation. Then again we will repeat the block of statements, then we will check the condition again. If it is true, I will repeat the same procedure, execute the body of the loop and then increment decrement, then iterate the loop and again check the condition. So this is a way I'm going to execute this block of statements repeatedly until and unless the condition becomes false, right? So in case of while, it is called as entry checking loop. If the condition is true, then only we enter into the block. Otherwise, we never enter into the block. That's what this is called as entry checking loop. Now, coming to the do while, what will happen? First, without checking the condition, first we will execute the body, then we will check the condition. If the condition is true, then we will repeat the same procedure. We will execute the body and we will check the condition, right? Whereas here in do while, for example, you are executed body and you are checking the condition. If the condition is false, then we won't repeat and we won't execute the body again. But even now, what happened? Even though the condition is false, the body already gets executed at least once. So the difference between while and do while is while, if the condition is true, then only it executes the block of statements. Whereas do while, even though the condition becomes false, it executes at least once. That is the difference between the while and do while. While is entry checking, do while is a exit checking loop. Coming to the for loop. Here, sir, they are there. Why they are introduced this for loop? Beta, in while initialization, condition checking, increment, decrement, these are all happening in the three different steps. To minimize the number of steps, we are introduced this for loop. Initialization, condition checking, and increment, decrement will happen in the same step, right? And if the condition is true, we execute the block of statements, then the loop will be repeated. Whenever the condition becomes false, then we will goes out of this loop. This is all about the iteration statements. Next, coming to the jumping statements, we have three jumping statements. They are continue, break, and return. Continue is a statement which is used to skip a statement whenever we are going with the execution. For example, if x is equal to 5, then in this particular case you are saying continue. That means without printing this 5, you are repeating the block of statements to print 1 to 5. So you want to print 1 to 5. So whenever this condition is true, you are saying continue means this particular statement will be skipped, right? To skip a statement, we use the continue. Whereas break, which is used to break the complete loop, right? Whenever the condition is meeting, we will break and we will comes out of all the blocks. Then return statement, which is used to return the value to the caller. That is the purpose of the return statement. This is all about the jumping statements. Now, coming to the type conversion and typecasting. So type conversion, it is nothing but converting one data type into another data type. That is known as a type conversion or typecasting. Here we have, there is a difference between the typecasting and the type conversion. So if the data type automatically converted into another data type, that is at time of compilation, it is known as a type conversion. So type conversion is going to be performed by the compiler if both data types are compatible with each other. That in the sense, here we need to remember a point, that is destination data type should not be smaller than the source data type. It is also known as a widening conversion, right? The type conversion is also known as a widening conversion, right? Now you can see an example here. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the class main method. I'm taking the integer. I want to convert this int into float. That in the sense, what you are doing, You are converting one type of data into another type. This is going to be done by the compiler itself. That's what this is called as type conversion. You can print A and F. F will be printed in the form of float, A will be printed in the form of integer. This is called as widening. Now, coming to the typecasting. So this is quite opposite to the type conversion. A data type is converted into another data type by the programmer or the user while writing the program, right? So that is called as a typecasting. This mechanism is also known as a typecasting, or you can say it as a type narrowing conversion or typecasting, right? Here we need to do, the programmer has to do manually, right? Uh, it is used to it is used if we want to change the target data type into another data type. Of course, here also the important note is this: the destination data type must be smaller than the source data type. So in this case only, you can perform the typecasting. You can see the example here. I'm taking the main method, right? Then I'm taking the float. That float I want to convert it into the integer. So what I'm doing, I am doing it in the manually, explicitly. Then only you can perform the narrowing or typecasting. This is all about the typecasting and the type conversion. Chalo guys, thank you.